It's been a while since I've done one of these now, hasn't it? I'm going to attempt to vlog this week for the first time basically all semester. So welcome to a week in my life as a 2L. It's a crazy time. So I haven't done a video, so I feel like there's just a lot I can talk about in this. So get ready. I think one of the most common questions I've gotten, both from actual 1Ls at my school and just in general, is the comparison of 2L and 1L. They're very different, first of all, for me, because 1L was entirely online and 2L is not. 2L is in person. I am on my way to go to class and I will be in the law school building from 9:30 when my first class starts to 3:30 when my last class of the day ends. So different setup in that regard. Also, I'm just a very busy person. On the like thing of like, does 2L get easier? I think the answer there really is that like it wholly depends on how much you commit yourself to 2L year. The classes themselves are easier. Like, you know how to be in law school, like, you know how all of that stuff works. But 2L year is typically the year that you're most involved in things. And so like, I'm on a journal, I'm a TA, I'm a peer academic advisor, and I'm like on exec boards for 2 different organizations, one of which my position is president, which is a lot of work. So like that really, all of those things combined really up the workload, and up the amount of stuff that has to get done. I'm also on like a intramural moot court team, which has been a time. So that's a lot that is going on. I've been very busy, very occupied, a lot of running around doing things, but in a good way. I enjoy kind of having a lot on my plate. That's where I think I thrive. So I've been doing pretty good so far. So today I have Fed courts first thing in the morning, and then I have some time to get other things done. I am a peer academic advisor, as I mentioned, and so I host office hours every Monday. So basically from 11 to 12, I sit in the Office of Student Life, and if 1Ls or any year want to like show up and like ask for advice on basically anything academic related, that's what I'm sitting there for. So usually they're pretty quiet and I get to do some reading, but I do occasionally get some drop-ins. So then I just, pause what I'm doing for 5 or 10 minutes. So, but it's a good place. Like, that area of the school is like very isolated. So I'm just like by myself and I can get a lot of work done there. Cause I just linger there until I have to leave, which I really don't until basically 2:30 if I don't want to, because I do have one class in the middle, but it's my grad school class. And on Mondays, it's taught as an asynchronous class. So we like watch a video lecture and like write a discussion post, which is like a very weird experience in law school. Like the difference between my like one grad school course and my like law school courses, like night and day, they're just very differently styled classes. But I have that. And so I usually will like watch the lecture and do the discussion post while I'm sitting in my own office hours, just to get that out of the way and get it done before that official class time starts. And then I have one more class. It's at 2:30. It's an hour-long class again. And then I'm done for the day. So I will be back in the car coming home. And then we come back and we do reading. So we've got more work to do today, but we are going to head off to the law school now. One thing that being in person has really messed with, that I wasn't expecting to be a thing, is my like meal schedule. So I don't like bring lunch to the law school. I know I could. I know a lot of people do. And they like eat in the middle of the day. For some reason, I just don't. I just bring like a protein bar and sustain myself until 3:30 when I come home, and I eat lunch then. And it all kind of balances out, because then I just save dinner until after my workout. So like I eat dinner at like 10:30, but It's a weird schedule, but I've made it work for me. I have been home for a few hours now. I'm about to get ready to go to the gym. But I've been home. I've been fairly productive. So while I was at school, I did most of my readings for one of my classes tomorrow. And then the other one I did over the weekend because I only have that class starting on Tuesday. And so I did that over the weekend and then did the reading for the third class that I have tomorrow this afternoon when I got home. And then spent some quality time working on my outline for one of my classes. I have just started outlining this week. So that felt like it was something I probably should get started on, considering it is, mid to late October. It's typically around the time that you're expected to get started with those. The cat had to make his little appearance in front of the camera because of course. So I have been outlining for Fed Courts. I'm going to try to get started on the other two classes that I have to outline for at some point this week. So probably Wednesday is kind of my day where I have the most free time. Greg, sir, he just slammed his face into the camera and started trying to knock it over. Anyways, that's kind of been my evening. So more work, but now I'm going to get ready to head to the gym. Gonna go get a back workout in and then come home and have myself the rest of my evening. I am just getting back into the gym after a while off. I went and I got 2 tattoos a few weeks ago and they were placed in spots where I really couldn't wear workout clothes. One of them is right here. It's on my Instagram. I can just throw the shot up rather than trying to figure out how to show it with my top on. And then the other one is on my ankle and it's just these little crows and I love them to death. So those were new additions, but they made it very hard to wear both sports bras and tennis shoes. So I couldn't really work out for a little bit there. So I'm getting back into it fully this week, which is fun. So we're gonna go do that. And then come home and have dinner. I'm done with work for the day, basically. I probably will go and do for my grad school class that we have our asynchronous, I had to write a discussion post earlier today. We also have to respond to 2 of our classmates, which this is my least favorite activity. It just feels like busy work. And that's one thing that I didn't miss in law school was I felt all you do is readings and take a final, and I kind of just liked the straight to the point. But this is fun. It's a little bit different, but I do have to write discussion board responses. So probably will do that this evening. I just like to crank them out as soon as the initial posts are due by 9. So if I, look at them after I get home from the gym, everyone who has written a post will their post will be up. And so I can pick which 2 I want to respond to. And they're just little short blurbs, but I do need to write those. So that might be the one thing that gets addressed post gym. But other than that, I'm probably just going to mostly, I've got a book that I'm in the middle of because I'm always in the middle of a book, but I've got a series that I'm on the 5th book out of 7. So gonna try to make some more progress on that. I'm also gonna wash my hair. Normally Sunday is my hair washing and I threw my whole schedule off last week. Just I have a schedule to this. So I also normally probably wouldn't do the pigtail braids type thing for class. But I have Olaplex in my hair. So the options were pigtail braid or bun. And so I decided to do the braids as something fun and different. So that's what we did that for today. But now my hair has been marinating in Olaplex for a few hours. So when I get home, I will give it a nice little wash and it'll be nice and shiny for tomorrow.
The way
and we're sitting in the law school parking lot. So good morning. Today is Tuesday. This is my like 3-class day. I have all three of my like kind of main law school classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and so today is one of those days. So I have federal courts first, and then I have health law, and then I have antitrust. So fed courts and antitrust are both, I meet 3 days a week for an hour. And then health law, I meet twice a week for an hour and a half. So it's like 3 credit hours for both, which is less than my 1L courses were all 4. I also have a meeting today with my notes editor in law review. As a part of law review, you have to write a note, which is basically like a piece of legal scholarship. And it may or may not be published in the law review like the next year. So I have like written a topic proposal on what I think I want my note to be about, and I'm gonna meet with my editor today and get some feedback on, you know, whether it's something I should keep pursuing, or if I need to like change course or like change how I'm thinking about the question that I'm trying to answer, etc. So I've got that, and then, you know, as usual, we'll try to get some reading done. I've been kind of working on basically getting all of my readings for Thursday done on Tuesday, so I get all my readings for class done today, rather than doing them tomorrow, because then it means my Wednesday, I just have my one grad school class that's remote, and then I can spend the rest of the day working on other things. So like tomorrow is going to be a lot of outlining. In previous weeks, it's been like a lot of like moot court stuff or etc. So I've found different things that needed to get worked on. So that's kind of what we're gonna do this week, as well as try to get all my reading done tonight. And that's it. That's the day. 2L is about the same as 1L in the sense that a lot of my day and a lot of my time is spent in class and then reading, and then back to class and then back to reading. It is Wednesday evening. We are seated here at the desk getting work done, basically. I might take a break and clean up my apartment a little bit. I have some laundry that I did yesterday or Monday that I should fold and put away, and just, you know, the general cleaning. So I might take a little break and do that. But I've spent a lot of today working on outlines, so I have like a pretty solid chunk of my antitrust outline done. I spent a good bit of my morning on that. And then this evening have started my health law outline. I had my Zoom class smack dab in the middle there. I've spent some time working on, I have a memo. I'm one of the like TAs for the first year legal writing class. And so part of my role has been kind of helping with the scenarios that he's laid out for the students to like be writing their papers on. And so like my assignment right now has been, they have like an open research problem, so they get to like find the cases themselves and write their memo based on kind of what they find on their own research. But in order to kind of prime my professor for what he's going to be hearing from them, because they have to like give him like an oral presentation on what they found, me and one of the other TAs have been working to like dig up the case law and like what cases he should expect to hear talked about by the students. And so I've been working on that. Did more of that yesterday, but I'm kind of gonna finish up my part of it tonight. So that is out of the way. I had my meeting, I mentioned this yesterday, with my notes editor for my law review note. And I think I kind of said like I was kind of like feeling iffy about it, but my like editor like definitely kind of like made me feel a little bit better about like where I am in the process. And so like I think there's a lot of time for my like work to just take shape as I keep going and kind of figure out what the heck I'm doing. And I'm gonna try to spend a little bit of time doing some note research tonight, or yeah, tonight, either late when I get back from the gym. Normally I don't do that, but I kind of had some more like downtime earlier today, and so I'll probably do a little bit of work when I get back. I also stayed up until 3 a.m. finishing a book last night, which questionable decision, and I regret it. Absolutely none of it. So, you know, it is what it is. That's what I did. So this summer I was like on like a full-blown reading kick, to the extent that I was like reading like 10 or 12 books in a month, like pretty regularly. And I hate that I can't keep that up in law school, but I do think I've like kept it like decently up for, I don't know, the amount of other things that I have to balance. Like I'm still probably reading about a book a week, which is kind of cool. So if you are at all interested in like my reading, whatever, like what books are on my list, I do like keep an update on my Instagram, like a running tally. It's very funny. I've had a lot of people tell me that they think that I'm using a rating system, and I've gone well over 100 at this, not like well over 100, but like well over 100% at this point. So my original goal was 50, and so I'm like on 70. I think the book I finished last night was 74. So it's like 74 out of 50, and people are like, this is a weird rating system, Taylor. What are you doing? And I'm like, it's not a rating system. If you watch my Instagram story, there's like a highlight reel that starts at 1 and like goes all the way up to 74. So like it makes sense in context, I guess. I will go to the gym in a little bit. It's probably 6 o'clock now. I've been going at like 8:30, and I work out for an hour and a half. If that, usually I don't like go the full, but I like getting there at 8:30, and it gives me an hour and a half until they close. And so I can get as much of a workout in as I want. I also just like that it's not super crowded at that hour. And it just works with my schedule better. I worked out in the middle of the day during 1L. Like I always went kind of like in between two of my, like my morning class and then my afternoon classes. I like had this like nice little block that was really nicely built for time to go work out. And my schedule this semester just doesn't have that built in. Like it doesn't really have like a good like midday workout time. And now that I'm like in person, even if I did, like, it was kind of different because even when I was going like in person to the law school, I could go to the gym right afterwards and then I didn't have to go back to the law school. But like now if I did that in the middle of the day, I would have to go back to the law school, and it's like, I don't know. It would just be a lot of extra running around. So now I just go at the very end of the day and then I come back, and usually that's like my like cutoff point for law school stuff. But it won't be tonight most likely, just because I have some other things I want to get done. And sometimes I set like, that's kind of usually like my boundary for myself, but sometimes we get flexible with it. Good morning. I'm doing my makeup, so I'm multitasking right now. Oh gosh, okay. That's my full face of makeup done. So I've got 3 classes today. I also have a meeting with my co-president for the like student organization that I am president of. We're meeting and just like catching up and trying to figure out some next steps on a few different things, because we've got a lot that we're in charge of, and so just trying to coordinate where we're at with things. So I'm gonna meet with him over lunch, but like not really lunch, it's just like after lunch hour, because once again I don't bring food with me to campus, for better or for worse. I just eat it when I get home. And then I will spend the rest of my day doing like my kind of weekly review. So I talked about this last year. I did a thing like basically at the end of each week where I would like write up kind of like the summaries of the cases that we went over. So that's kind of a way of helping me remember it and helping me like review for the fact that like we're going to be tested on this eventually. It's just a good way to kind of sum up the week. So I'll spend some time. I've got a break in between classes for like 2.5 hours, and I only expect to spend about half an hour in a meeting. My hair is extremely greasy today. Today's a hair washing day, that's why. So it'll get washed when I get home. But for now, I think we're just gonna do like a little like half up, half down business as a means of kind of hiding the fact that it's a little dirty. And then I think I'm gonna try to spend some time on my moot court argument tonight. So I signed up to do moot court, which questionable decision on my end, honestly. But one of my friends talked me into it, into like being his partner. So I'm doing it. It's like an intramural class, and we like compete against other pairs of students. I messed up that half up, half down, if you couldn't tell. So we're gonna start that over and try again. But we like compete against other students in like rounds of oral arguments. We had to do a brief earlier, and that was just a time. But it is submitted now. And yeah, that's kind of, I'm gonna try to like write up. I have kind of half of the substantive argument, and we have to argue both sides. So like we wrote our brief from the perspective of like one side of the case, but when we do the oral arguments part, we have to argue on both sides of the case. So I need to spend some time planning out not only my argument on my side of the case that I like wrote a brief on, but also the side of the case that I wasn't on. Need to make sure that I kind of like know what my argument is going to be there. So I'm just trying to get that. We argue for those next Saturday, so about a week. So I figure if I get my arguments outlined now, that'll give me plenty of time to like practice and perfect it and all that good stuff. So I like trying to get these things done as early as possible, just because there's enough other moving parts that like want to get these things handled. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to get that hopefully outlined today. Normally on Thursdays, my school has what's called bar review, which is essentially you go to a bar with other law students. There's like a tab that runs out very quickly, and you just like hang out and socialize. That being said, I'm not a big fan of this week's location, so I may or may not actually go. So if I don't, it'll be nice. It'll be a chill night, and I'm sure I'll make up for it at some point over the weekend. That's a big old baby. Oh, look at him. Anyways, this is the outfit of the day. It's literally just black, and you can't even see what I'm wearing because the light coming in from my windows is just really throwing things off. But I'm literally just wearing a giant sweater and a skirt and tights. So it's all black because of course it is. The tights are actually really fun, and I'm really mad that you can't see them. I didn't realize that they were patterned, but they are, and I discovered that as I put them on. But yeah, you can't see them because the lighting in this room is so strange right now. It is many hours later from when I filmed that little walking into Orange Theory clip. So I did that first thing this morning, got a nice little workout in, and then had a meeting at the law school, like an exec meeting for one of the organizations that I'm on the board for. I gotta find a good, like, there's nothing like this level in my kitchen. So it's like, what's the best possible angle we can work with? And this might, I'm on my knees, there we go. Problem solved. So I had that meeting, then finished up an assignment, a TA assignment that I had to get done and sent off to my professor. I did in fact not go out last night. I cleaned my entire apartment. It is spotless now and beautiful, and I am very proud of my work. But right now I am, so I went and got my nails done today, and you're probably like, Taylor, you just got your nails done. Why are you putting polish on them? The answer is because, so it is, since it is late October, we are getting very close to Halloween, and I wanted like spooky nails. But also because Halloween will be over soon, I didn't want like spooky nails all the way into mid-November. So I decided what I was gonna do is I was gonna get one white nail in the middle. I decided I think this is gonna be my new thing. The last set of nails I got was like black, and then I got glitter on the middle nail. And so I think my new thing is gonna be like the middle nails, the fun one. So as you can tell, I got white on both of them, and then I just added blood. So I did that myself. That was excellent work on my part, if I do say so myself. So now I am waiting. I am going out with some friends tonight. I should probably be careful of the wet nail. I'm going out with some friends tonight. We are starting our night at Applebee's, which feels like a very strange, like is like not a normal choice. But I guess we're trying Halloween drinks. So that's where my night's starting, and based on my track record, it's not gonna end for a while. And I'm in fact just wearing my normal clothes, my like normal daily outfit out, because that's just where we're at. That's where we're at today. So I will be wearing cargo sweatpants to probably multiple bars. So it is what it is. But this has been my week. We've gotten a lot done. It's a busy time. So that's that. I was originally going to try to submit a paper today, and then I just did not have time. So it's not due until Wednesday. So clearly I'm like way ahead of schedule here. So we're all good there, and I can deal with that tomorrow. So tomorrow will be a productive day, but for now I'm going to go off and enjoy my evening. 2L has been a lot of fun in that regard of like at least being able to like see people and like everyone's vaccinated and having a grand old time. So that's what it is. But thanks for following me around this week.